Hi, everybody, and welcome to your monthly reading by sign. Next is going to be Libra. Welcome. Sun, Moon, and Rising. And to go over a few major cycles this month, we have the full moon in Leo at 25 degrees in sidereal astrology. That's happening March 7th. And then we have, of course, the vernal equinox happening March 20th at 5:24 p.m. Eastern. It's equal day and night. We're moving into the spring season in the northern hemisphere. And then the very next day we have a new moon at 5:22 p.m. So almost exactly 24 hours later we have a new moon in Pisces in sidereal astrology. So, and then the very next day, the March 22nd, will be a palindrome 322223. So I'll be very curious to see what happens that day. Because if you add 3 plus 2 puts 2, you get a 7. And then, of course, the year is 7. So we have 2 sevens. And you're actually ruler of the 7th house, Libra, now that I think about it. Could be a very impactful day for you. Lots of changes afoot towards the end of the month, second half of the month. It's going to be interesting. All right, let's see what Libra has coming up for March. Okay. Underneath your deck, ooh, the High Priestess. Speaking of that moon energy, could be a very powerful time for you, the 7th or the 21st. But as the full moon's pictured here, this looks, again, you're very tapped in, very intuitive, maybe getting a lot of downloads in your sleep, spending some time in an open, receptive mode, absorbing knowledge, gnosis. Okay, you are the air sign, so you rule the mind. Let's see. A lot of clarity for you maybe coming through this month. Okay, the wheel. So Jupiter, expanding everything it touches, turning of the wheel. Again, well, we are restarting the great astral clock as we move into 0 degrees Aries in tropical astrology on the 20th. So this is definitely beginning a new cycle for you of expansion. Maybe find out which house Jupiter is in your natal chart. See if it's being aspected by current Jupiter, whether conjunction or opposition or trine. But it could be a very supportive time for you to expand whatever house that is where Jupiter falls. I guess in tropical astrology, Jupiter is changing signs in the month of March. I think March 3rd. It's moving into Aries. Okay, never mind. That's actually Saturn moving into Pisces March 7th in tropical zodiac. But Jupiter will move into Aries in tropical zodiac April 22nd of 2023. So, all right, I had to stop and look that up. So let's go back to the reading. We have the 5 of Cups, Mars in Scorpio. Okay, next we have the Palace of Wands. This is an atypical card. It's just referring to basically the element and environment of fire. Okay. 7 of Swords. And the Knight of Coins. Okay. All right, well, with the Jupiter being there, the turning of the wheel, next to the 5 of Cups, we have obviously someone who's distraught at something that has been lost, left behind. Could have been a home, a house, especially with the 7 of Swords there. There's a leaving, a moving away. And the Knight of Coins. So there might be a tug of war of somebody wanting you to stay, watching you leave, whether it be a job with the coins being there, could be financial involvement or having to do with your job. Some of you might lose your job, and that might be the feeling of loss next to Jupiter. So there might be movement away from that environment, although it probably was toxic. It's not worth crying over spilt milk. You know, if those 3 cups on the ground are poured out, how do you know they weren't poisoned? You know, you have 2 perfectly good, healthy cups right behind you. There's a better opportunity that's waiting. following the turning of the tide here. And with the Knight of Coins there being the slowest moving card in the deck, I feel like some stubbornness in letting go of that which was lost or released recently. So I'm going to get some clarification on this, of course, for Libra. All right, underneath the deck, we have the Three of Crystals, the Three of Coins. What's underneath that? Six of Crystals. Okay, so more steady ground, more stable ground. Where that was the ground that you were leaving, you felt that it was supportive. Now there's movement occurring in the Seven of Swords. Oh, Three of Cups, Three of Coins. So now we have a 33. Some of you could be 33 years old. 33 is the number of the master teacher. Okay, so some of you could be joining forces with or attending a class or the presence of a mentor who's going to help kind of see you through any kind of transition that you're going through or loss. The Four of Swords. That's asking for time to rest. I would say if some of you did lose your job, perhaps you were working too hard. And this is your guide's way of telling you it's time to take a break, take a time out. You need to rest. They're really pulling you out of this toxic situation. If it was involving your work space. And then we have the Three of Flames, 333. So this is the Sun in Aries. This could be, again, like I said, the turning of the wheel. The light is behind her with the Two Cups still standing. Could be this opportunity coming in for you, a new start, a fresh beginning. They're wanting you to focus on Aries and the new beginning because that came up in the beginning of the reading for some reason. But yeah, focus on this fresh start. Whatever you're moving away from was not in your best interest, even though maybe it did pay the bills. It took care of things financially, but emotionally and just mentally, it was not good for you. It wasn't what made you happy. And then we have the Seeker of Flames. So that's the Page of Wands. More fire, initiatory fire, which is Aries. So it's definitely focusing on this new start. And we have a 3 and a 1. That's almost like a 4 and a 4. There's a new doorway opening here. There's a new opportunity. You have the Seeker being, someone who goes out and looks for things. They're wanting you to go and look at your new options. Turn around and look and see what's there. Maybe seeking out a new palace, a new place to either live or work or whatever it is. But it's definitely going to be a better outcome for you in the end. The Three of Crystals is, a collaborative effort. You could be joining a small group of people. The Three of Cups is, raising your glass and toasting in celebration. So again, focusing on this recent loss as an opportunity is really going to help you set yourself up for that Three of Flames, for things to come in. And just embrace this period of rest. Embrace this reprieve that you're being given. Because it's going to help you heal. And redirect your energy to something better. Okay, we have the house 6. This is Virgo. Establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. So it being an earth sign, for some reason I wanted to look at this 6 of crystals under here. And there you are, the scales, right? Libra, the 6 being everyday activities. So it is directly related to your work, your soul's purpose, your job. And health being there. I mentioned taking time out because something was poisoning you. All right, next we have self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity in Leo. We have that full moon in Leo, March 7th in sidereal astrology. So again, with the Palace of Flames here, this being a fire element, and we have the 3 and Page of Wands present. So it's very encouraging to me. Like I said, it's maybe lighting a fire under your butt for some of you who have maybe been stuck in this feeling of despair. But it's a new creative inspiration. Again, maybe spending time with your friends in this Three of Cups is going to help remind you, or they can remind you of all your talents, your gifts, abilities, everything that you have to offer the world. That just because this opportunity has ended doesn't mean that your purpose has ended. And we have spiritual growth, house 9, Sagittarius, more fire. So, yeah, absolutely. This is an opportunity for spiritual growth. We don't grow without adversity. That's the only thing that makes us grow. So, whatever this difficult situation may have been, it's part of your spirit's path to remind you how strong you are and reflect on all the times that you have survived these moments of disappointment. And then we have Capricorn, ambition, realism, and methodical steps. It rules the 10th house of career. And it has to do with the earth element again, much like Virgo. So this is a reinvention, I feel, a reestablishment of a secure foundation. The Knight of Coins is not only stubbornness or stillness, but it is the most stable card in the deck. It definitely has again methodical steps. So following, ruled by Saturn, right? So following the rules, coloring inside the lines, dotting your T's, crossing your I's. Things, paying attention to the little details. Maybe some of you are revising your resume. So by following procedure and policy, that's going to help you get your foot in the door somewhere else. And then we have Neptune, dream and transcend. Okay, yeah. If you can dream it, you can do it. How cliche is that, right? But everything, again, does start in the mind. I mentioned that here. This could be you in a deep meditative state, much like the Four of Swords. It's that peaceful, meditative, reflective thing. What are you picturing in your mind? How are you setting up your future? What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be enjoying? Where are you living? These are all things that you need to take time out and reflect upon in a deep sense of what your future looks like, and the things you'll be enjoying. And by focusing on them, that's what's going to draw them into your reality. You're setting up your future self. You're laying the network, the foundation, and the matrix in order for these things to grow for you. So what is it that you're envisioning? How does your future look? Okay, I'm going to grab an archetype card for you. As we're coming to the end of this astrological year, it's typical time, though, for things to be released and cleaned out. I mentioned spring cleaning, things we want to flush out before we start anew on March 20th. So what are you making room for? All right, the mentor. Okay, did I mention we got 33 showing up, the master teacher number? This is definitely speaking of a new boss to me, and there's another 6 showing up, like the Virgo, the 6th house. So your new boss could be a Virgo, or this could be you becoming a boss, being your own boss. Of course, not everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur, but if you have those inspirations, then go for it, But let's find out what the mentor has for you. The teacher, the sage, the guru. It is said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. The true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay, while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. Although it's typically true that parents are our initial teachers, the child will eventually seek a mentor figure outside of the home to assist their growth. Keep in mind how easy it is to project power onto another. The expressions feet of clay and cult of personality exist for a reason. Okay. So, again, I feel like you'll find yourself in the presence of a mentor, whether that be a job coach or a spiritual advisor, somebody who can help you navigate this sense of lack or loss that occurs in the Five of Cups. Somebody taking you under their wing. You could become an apprentice for somebody for a trade of skill. but there's, a seeker here. Remember, the seeker of knowledge. You're the student. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? Okay, we're going to get your animal medicine card for the month. We have the raccoon, number 46. All right, I always want to look what's underneath. And we have the whale, number 41. Cool. All right, let's read about the raccoon. So the title of raccoon is Generous Protector. Raccoon, protector of the underdog, provider for those who have none. Do you wear the bandit's mask to hide the good deeds that you've done? Teach me to turn away from rich rewards or worldly acclaim, knowing that my generosity allows my warrior spirit to be reclaimed. Raccoon carries the medicine of the protector of the underdog and provider for the young, infirm, and elderly, often called Little Bandit by southern tribes. This Robin Hood of the animal kingdom teaches us that generosity and caring for others. When raccoon comes your way, you are being asked to contact your inner warrior to become a protector and generous provider for those in need. Raccoon medicine people have the uncanny ability to assist others without allowing them to become victims, or dependents. Like the tribal chiefs of old, raccoon tends to the needs of the tribe before taking anything for itself. A troop of raccoons scouting for food is often a hilarious exercise in generosity. After rolling in their cornmeal or flour, they finally settle on their favorite morsels, giving the best tidbits to their lookout. Raccoons leave a watcher behind when raiding a campsite or mountain cabin, usually the dominant male. He is always fed first by the other raiders to honor his vigilance as the group protector. This uncommon lack of greed is as rare in the world of humans as it is in the rest of the animal world. While other creatures fight one another for the best of the kill, raccoon teaches the universal law of giving back to the source of your strength, guidance, and protection. You are also reminded that benevolence and generosity come around full circle to reward the giver. I often hear one of my other teachers tells me, that givers gain. So the more generous you are, and Jupiter is generosity. It's giving gifts. It's and with the mentor there too, being seen as kind of like the generous protector. I mentioned somebody taking you under their wing. So if somebody does that for you as your protector, you giving back to them, showing your generosity, is going to also reward you in the end. But of course, giving without expectation. Or this might be the person that you find yourself in the presence of. If raccoon wandered into your cards today, the little bandit may be telling you to look around and see who needs your strength at this time. Speak up in defense of another instead of remaining silent when others are gossiping. Maybe it is time to share the bounty of your time, energy, or possessions with the less fortunate. But remember to help those in need develop their own protector and provider skills. In all cases, raccoon asks that you honor yourself and others equally, provide for your own needs, or your well will be dry when you choose to give generously. Chiefs earn their eagle feathers when they promote every human's right to self-dignity. Acting in this manner brings that same honor to yourself and to your family. Okay, yeah, so don't forget to fill your own cup before you go giving away all of your assets and energy to everyone else, or you may find yourself depleted. And the whale card, I just briefly glazed over the end of it. But it does have to do, you think about whale songs and their voice, using your throat chakra. But if you pulled the whale card, you're being asked to tap into the records and allow yourself to be sung to by those who have the original language. So I feel like they're talking about the Akashic records here. And with the High Priestess there and the Four of Swords and that meditative kind of accessing of the higher realms, then I feel like this is you accessing those records. It says, we are the only creatures who do not have our own unique cry or call. Find yours. Allow your voice to use this sound to release tension or emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, of seeing your overall destiny as coded in your DNA, and of finding the sounds that will release those records. You may never be the same again. After all, you are the melody of the universe, and the harmony is the song of your other creatures. In using your voice to open your memory, you are expressing your uniqueness and your personal sound. As you open to this uniqueness, the animals that are your 9 totems may then send their sounds or calls to you or through you. This will open your personal record so that you may further explore your soul's history and commune with Whale, who carries the history of all of us. Because, we all come from the primordial soup of the ocean, right? That's the source of all life. And with Neptune being here, dreaming and transcending, getting in touch with ancestors through meditation or divination can maybe help you bring answers or clarity to your soul's purpose. Again, I get this strong sense of somebody, maybe this is putting you on your proper path. And it may be looking out for the less fortunate or doing more humanitarian works in some way. Okay, so let's get some angel cards to wrap this up. For Libra, okay, the first one I'm looking at is blank. So future isn't written yet. Nothing is set in stone. It's for you to dictate and write. We have light. I did want to focus on the light coming in through the back of this picture here. It's shining light on these 2 cups. There's more opportunity maybe that you're not seeing. And she's even holding 2 candles. That's pretty great. It looks like a gateway to me, a doorway. But also shine your light in the world. The world is a dark, sad place. A lot of people that you come in contact with are only focused with their head down, whether it's buried in their phone or they're looking at what's at their feet or what they've lost. And it's often difficult to find the light in a dark place. And if you can be that as the Page of Wands for somebody, then you can change their entire world by showing them, maybe through your example, how you got through that difficulty or that hard mindset. And then we have strength. Well, that's beautiful, because the Leo, it rules the strength card. The strength of your light, your solar plexus, that the Leo rules. So it's just, there's a fearlessness here that's plowing forward. And I think, again, a lot of success in the 3 of Cups can be celebrated as that fact. The more fearless you are about pursuing this destined path for yourself, I think you're going to become a mentor to a lot of people as this protector, as this person who's been through a lot, and showing people that they have the power within themselves. They have a whole solar system. They are a power plant in holding this Leo energy. Some people just, it's been buried and suppressed for so long that you're going to show them how to embrace it again. Okay, I think that's all I have for you, Libra. Hopefully you enjoyed this reading. If not, maybe check out your rising sign or your moon sign for a better picture this month. But till next time, take care. Have a beautiful March and happy spring or fall, depending on where you are in the world. Take care. Bye.